What's going on, you good looking mother traders? OG Camera coming back at you with a follow up to my previous video, Gapplebees. And what the frick is a Gapplebees? If you watch my last video, I go over what exactly a gap in a chart is and how it's almost got its own gravitational pull that always tends to want to be filled. In other words, price will want to either pull back all the way down to the bottom of the gap or rally up all the way to the top of the gap. Like I said, it's kind of explained it in detail in the last video. The reason for this video is towards the end of the last video, I kind of made a hypothesis, a thesis statement that SPY and the Qs, even though that they were rallying hard, they still had that election day gap that had not yet been filled. And I kind of proposed, like, is this a retest and we're going to get rejected and it's going to pull back down to those gaps? Or is it just going to ignore those gaps totally? Well, today it filled the gaps. But before I get into it, just so you know, I'm a new trader. I'm not making loads and loads of money. This is a combine evaluation. Currently have 3 past combines or evaluations. I got 2 more. My goal was to have 5 by the end of this week. I started some one-on-one coaching with Team Alpha. There are links in the down below. Their Discord is 100% free right now. Like I said, I'm starting their one-on-one coaching. So even though I can trade, I can make some money, I want to improve. And that's hopefully what I'm trying to do when I'm sharing these videos, is to help a new trader maybe learn something that they didn't know, or at least point them in the right direction to get more information. Because trading, it's all about repetitions. The more you see it, the more you do it, the better you get at it. They're building that confidence and they tackle the psychology of trading. So with that being said, let me open up my chart. Yeah. Go to trading view. Now, let's see where the flag is. What you have to do is ignore everything to the right of the flag. This is SPY, of course. Talked about right somewhere around in here, this red candle. Okay, now is this coming down, bouncing off the bottom of that channel, coming down, going to bounce off the bottom of this channel again, or was this a true breakdown and a retest and eventually going to come down and fill this presidential gap? Well, as you can see on the daily, we absolutely nailed that call out 2 weeks ago of filling this gap. Although it took us on a wild ride, it came down, teased us, and went back up. So I mean, what is this, 581 back all the way up to almost 600 or so, and then it just dumped. It puked the rest last week and a half or so. So let's go over here to the 15-minute so we can see what it did today. And I kind of called it out in our Discord and like, hey, I kind of got this inkling that the morning session, evening session into the morning is going to be a gap down, and it's going to dump and it's going to fill. Actually, here, it's going to be a gap down and it's going to fill the presidential gap. And that's absolutely what it did. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Oh, that's what it is. Yesterday, it got down into the gap. I'm like, all right, this morning, it is going to gap down and it is going to finish filling this gap, and absolutely finish filling that gap and then some. Now, my only issue, a nice little rally back up. We didn't get out of the top of this gap, but if we go over to the Qs and take a look, we made it down to the top of the gap. We go to the dailies. Like I said, once again, blue flag, where the price was when we looked at it, it was definitely rallying up, although kind of starting to get a lower high. So it is kind of maybe a bull flag. You don't really know. Then breakdown. And we got this here, but doesn't really officially count as a gap fill. So this gap has yet been filled. Now, with the election coming up, because of wildfires in California, who knows? But go over to look at the 1 hour. Nice little rally up in the day. We came down, touched that gap, and then rallied the rest of the day. I mean, that's a pretty good rally. But is it all for naught? Because I feel the gap, does that mean we're going to ignore the gap in Qs? Or are we still in for a rude awakening? And so we're just trying to draw some channels here, y'all. See, it broke out of that. So is it going to come down, retest, and then continue up? I don't know. I'm speculating. Like I said, it definitely puked, popped back up, and then puked again. Still kind of in a downward channel here. You gotta zoom out. We're still in. It could be a very long bull flag, or it could be a new bearish trend. It may just bounce back and forth here. It could do that, rally up, dump back down, and by the time it rallies up and it dumps down, it may only need one more cycle, and it'll be meet us down here at the bottom of this gap. So it may take a while, but I think eventually we're probably going to fill that gap if the rules take effect. Like I said, it can ignore it. Not all gaps get filled, but usually your significant gaps like this, they got a lot of magnetic pull. The market makers are wanting to fill that gap because they're creatures of habit. The way the stock market works is to keep things predictable. The market makers need predictability. Retail traders kind of throw a wrench in a monkey kind of a scenario. In other words, they want patterns to repeat themselves so they can continue to make money daily and billions and trillions of dollars over and over again because it's predictable, and they can manipulate it to take advantage of the uninformed trader. But once you know a little bit of certain patterns, channels, pennants, bear, bull flags, and kind of stuff, you can kind of get a good idea of what the trend is and where we are headed. So is all this mess a reversal, or we're going to have maybe a bearish trend, like a 2008, 2009 scenario when Bush and Obama transferred power? We're going to have the same situation when Biden and Trump transfers power. I don't know. It's all speculation. I thought it was pretty neat, kind of to finally get justification a little bit for calling that out 2 weeks ago. Like, hey, we have a potential to fill this gap. Now, the market does what the market does, and I wasn't expecting this rally. I thought it would come on down, and I thought it was really going to fill this gap right here. It didn't. It rallied back up, and then it's like, okay, I'm done messing around, and kind of a trend line, lower highs here. But that's all I had. I just wanted to kind of do a follow up with Gapplebees, Gapplebees 2. I'm working on another video. I'm actually going to, like I said, I'm doing one-on-one coaching, so I'm going to fine tune my own strategy. But I'm going to kind of try to show how I trade futures. That has worked for me, but is only going to improve as I improve as a trader. So I'm a new trader. I'm a noob, just like a lot of you guys. I've just been studying this stuff for a long time. Only been trading, I've only been actively trading, not even a year yet. It's been about 8 months. It'll be a year, March, April, or something like that. Just a dumb old meathead, played football too many years. Got hit and hit a lot. But all I had. Appreciate you guys jumping in, checking this out. Hope you got something out of it. And I will catch you guys on the next one.